quite done with that. That wasn't. Mm. 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone, how's everyone doing today? Hello, hello, and welcome. Today, we show the pixel art. Hello Lunatic, how are you doing today? Hello, hello. Today, I actually got a commission for the bunny, your character here. Yes. So we're doing that. We're making Bobby, right? She already has a bunnysuit to design. So we're gonna try to put this here as much as possible. And I do believe we do need to do some adjustments to the legs, mostly. She is very thick, and we're gonna have to adapt to the sprite. So we have a lot to do today. Let's get started, shall we? So how are you doing today? Hello everyone, hope you're all doing good. And boy, yesterday you may have noticed we didn't Momochi didn't stream yesterday, and the main reason for that was we went together to the optometrist. We do a yearly check to make sure everything is alright, you know? And hello Medina, how are you doing? Thankfully everything was just fine. We won't be needing new glasses anytime soon, which is amazing news because they can get pretty expensive. I would hate to trade them from one year to the next. But yeah, so everything was fine. There was only one catch. There was only one catch, which was the reason. Don't mind me, very sleepy and tired, otherwise fine. Also, 50 minutes I am off for another appointment of family. How are you doing? I'm doing good, I'm doing good. I was just talking that we went to the eye doctor to check if everything was alright with our sight. Everything was fine, right? And it was... But the thing is, this eye doctor, unlike our previous eye doctor, right? She uses... I don't know if you have this experience. I think you do, but it's probably a universal experience. Basically, when you go to the eye doctor, they give you like the special eye drops, right? And these special eye drops will make your pupils dilate, so the eye doctor can get a really good look at what's happening inside there. Yeah, the eye drops. So the eye drops my eye doctor uses are very potent, right? And we basically got it was basically a dead day. We got both getting like very sensitive to light. My thing is when I get those eye drops, I get very sensitive to light, so I can't even stare at screens, right? I feel your major star best is vibe after then. Exactly. We did carry sunglasses, thankfully, which was very, very useful. Okay. So, to match Bobby's leg thickness, I think these adjustments are good enough. Let's see. Those are some pretty thick ties. Those are some pretty thick ties. So yeah, and the eye drops are so strong that they actually last 2 days. I'm still under effect of the eye drops, albeit less powerful than yesterday. I'm still a little bit photosensitive at the moment, but thankfully I can stare at the computer screen without having a crash down or anything like that. Oh my god, I got their Brazilian potency. They are very potent. They are very potent. Let's see, so... There we go. There we go. Those are some thick ties. I think that matches. I think that matches well enough with my own style, I believe. Right? Could make thicker, but I don't know. That looks lovely so far. I see nothing wrong with any of this. Nice. Thank you, Medina. Yeah, I think this is good. I think this is good enough. Okay. So, boob size I think is alright. Maybe we could increase waist size a little bit. Let's see. Maybe make the waist a little bit bigger. To match the client specifications. Yeah? What do you think? I think this fits. I think this fits. Very good, very good. Now... Oh, let me just fix this a little bit. We're gonna have to do this adjustment with every other frame of the animation. But for now, we should focus on the bases. We should focus on the bases. Because I don't know how long it's gonna take to convert fully, and it would probably be wise to send it to Bobby before I do the rest of the frames, because maybe she's like, oh, actually, I think my thighs should be bigger or something like that. So just in case, we need to figure a few things out. First things first. Let me take here so we can do the face. Very important, very important. I don't know why she's wearing a mustache in this piece particularly, but here we are. Man, Momo Games, the makers of Flipwitch, they released a new song for their new promo thing, because they're making a new game and they announced it recently, right? And music's a bopping. Let me see if I can find it. I actually put it here. Listen to this. Yeah, it has all the beeps and boops. Also, your new model is so good. Gotta stress it again. Ah, thank you, Medina. Thank you. It has been in the works for a long time. It had been in the works for a long time. Lunatic did such a good job rigging it too. I need to start working on a Gyaru model. I just want... This is a sneaky... Ah, thank you, thank you. It wasn't very sneaky though. He was rigging it on stream. Hi, Lunatic! The main thing with doing the Gyaru version for the model is I am not entirely sure whether I want to make to just make the same outfit or if I want to change anything. I'm gonna have to like redo some stuff, right? Who knows, maybe next week. Maybe next week I'll start working on the design. Maybe next week I'll start working on the design. Yeah. If I don't get like any commission work that is streamable, I might start working on design. I hear this particular color has a certain meaning in anime. It is said that this color in particular has a meaning in anime. Which I find very funny because VTube Studio has a filter that... Hold up, let me show. Let me show, where is it? What guys, new Limbus Toler interval, whatever. Ooh, already? There's already a new one? What was it? Custom particle effects. Oops. Turn it up. It's like, look at this filter. It's so girly. Wow. Wow. Bald! Hi, Super Fudge. Welcome to the stream. How are you? It's such a girly visual effect. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing good. Yes, bald. We gotta start from somewhere, you know? We gotta start from somewhere. Oh my god, you love it. Nice, 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 nice. Oh, you're a little sick. Oh, that's too bad. Oh. Let's see here. Hope you feel better soon, Super Fudge. Meanwhile, you're more than welcome to cuddle up with us while we do pixel art. We work on bunny girls. Yes, very thick bunny girls. Like them. Those are... I mean, Bobby's ties are ginormous. This is probably a reduced, a nerfed version, if anything. Maybe I should make them bigger. Maybe one more pixel on each side. Where's the Confia emote? The Confia emote's not here. did it become... I was swapping around. I think it became like a tier 2 emote or something. Jeez, I need to fix that. Oh, it's the bit reward. Okay. I see. If you hover over it, it says which bit reward. I see. Was it always that way, or was it because I was fucking around with it because I needed to put the new ninjalings? For Bobby's eyes... I think it's better if I just make them all one color on one side and one color on the other. There we go. Oh, maybe I can do it like this. Just to give it the impression. Perfect. How are you? I'm doing good. Like I was saying, I went to the eye doctor yesterday to do a checkup, and everything was fine, which is awesome. Oh my god, Rhodey needs to apologize to Greg for real. Rhodia is... She's very cute, but she can be a bit tactless. Yeah, I think there's a decent translation of this eye expression. Otherwise, she looks a little bit angry. If I make it too much. Like this doesn't work either. Like this, she looks like she didn't sleep very well. Yeah, this is the best. This is the best, I think. Okay. Ow! Hey kitty! Welcome to the stream! How are you doing? Welcome. Alright, Medina, thank you very much for dropping by. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day with your family. Bye-bye! Let's see here. You are well? That is good to hear. God, let's see. What to talk about today? So, first things first, I finished watching with Momochi. We watched the Netflix One Piece adaptation. We didn't watch it the first time it came out, right? But because the second season came out, we were like, what the hell? Let's give it a go. Yeah, the live action. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was like I don't know how it is for someone who never watched One Piece before. As someone who read the manga a lot, but also a long time ago, it felt like a really good refresher of like where the series started, what it was about, all the main things, right? It was nice. I do remember, one thing that I did notice is that there were like some small changes here and there. One change I thought it was a little bit unfortunate was on Nami's arc. Unfortunately, they put the captain, the guy with the I don't know what do you call this, the spinny thing? The pinwheel? The guy with the pinwheel hat, they kinda, he was there, but they didn't really explain what his deal was, which I thought was a shame. Because I thought the whole thing about him having like a really scary face, so he puts a pinwheel on his hat so Nami and her sister won't cry when they see his ugly mug. was somewhat of a compelling story. I kind of wish they kept that in there. But I get that they were trying to, they took that aside because they were trying to build up the mother a little bit more. There wasn't time for everything. And the mother sacrificing herself and Nami then working for technically her mom's murder was like a very... It was like a compelling mystery, so I get why they prioritized that. Get why they decided to prioritize that. So overall, pretty good, pretty good. Second season was just banging. I'll admit, I completely forgot who was the antagonist when they got Chopper. I did not remember Wapo at all. I did not remember King Hippo. Despite being a shithead, he didn't like, I guess he didn't like strike me that much of an important character when I first read the manga. So I had completely forgot he existed. Which was like another nice thing of the adaptation, that it helps you reminder, like, oh yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it? Right, and then that happened. Okay, I remember now. I'm remembering now. You know? So overall, it was good. It does feel like it doesn't feel obviously like an extremely mature piece of work, because it is a shonen. This is going to be 900 episodes too. So Super Fudge. They did in 17 episodes, because season 1 is 8 episodes and season 2 is 9 episodes, right? They covered you wanna know how many episodes they covered in 17 episodes? They covered over 100. I'm not even kidding. They took over 100 episodes in the anime and made a perfectly viable adaptation in 17. Like, for real. It is kinda hilarious. It is kinda hilarious. How much filler there is. Okay, yeah, they're 1 hour episodes. Okay. True, Kitty. You're right. We gotta give them that, right? The regular episodes are 20 minutes. So if you did a 1 hour episode, it would still be like summing up over 50 episodes into 18, which I think is like still an extremely good job at summarizing. I saw the one episode they released for JoJo. That was so fire. That was so good. And then comes the announcement, by the way, we don't know where the next one's coming out. It may come out never. That was so sad, because it was so good. Okay, like, for real though, I like, one thing I kinda like about JoJo a lot, right, is that they show things, and it's like, how do I put this? When they show uncomfortable, they want to show uncomfortable things in the story, they show them without like any remorse, so to speak. Like the fact that how this JoJo was not like a bastion of virtue, and he was acting high duty, and then he got stabbed in the spine and ended up paralyzed because of it. And then he suffers abuse in the hospital because he's at the mercy of the nurse there, and the nurse there is not a nice guy. Like, that's a thing that can happen, which is why you need to be careful of where you check yourself in, where you check your family members in, right? And JoJo was like, yep, this is a thing. This is a thing. No idealize it, this is a thing. I think it's partially because Arale writes things from a perspective of things he's afraid of happening to him. I remember like welcome back, Lunatic! I remember the Diamond's Unbreakable season of JoJo was literally written because Arale was looking at peaceful neighborhoods, and his mind was going wild because, like, if the serial killer lived here, no one would know. How scary is that? He was like scaring himself, and that's why we got Kira. If I recall correctly, Stone Ocean was also like he kind of exploring his own fears of going to jail. And stuff like that. He's a very curious person. He's a very curious author. He's like, how scary would this be? But also, how interesting would a story about this would be? I think it's kind of how his modus operandi work. If I'm not mistaken. Na, 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 na. But yeah, the fact that the second episode is probably gonna come never is... I mean, it's not gonna come never, but... it's gonna take a while. I don't understand exactly what's happening there with the production, but... it's usually not a good sign. I hope whatever it is that's happening, they're able to sort it out, and I hope it's nothing too serious. Because I want my weird horse racing anime with toenail flickering. Or whatever. JoJo is a cool show, it's full of crazy stuff. How did you like the JoJo episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Don't worry if you didn't like it. I respect different opinions, and I think it's fine for people to like different things. I like it, I don't like Netflix. That is fair. That is absolutely fair. Like most companies, Netflix drops the ball a lot of times and has some questionable stuff in the gallery. Speaking of questionable stuff, they put Great Teacher Onizuka in there recently, and I remember that show used to have like to be considered one of the top anime. It's like one of the top anime seinen shows, I believe, of its time. So I decided to watch it, and really, I don't remember the OP. Honestly, most people only remember the OP. It's probably for the best. By the way, spoiler alert, is probably for the best that you only remember the OP. I read some of the manga. How did you like it? How did you like the manga? I never read the manga, so I can only speak for the anime, right? Because I watched all 43 episodes that were on Netflix, which I think are all the episodes. That final episode felt very final to me. It wasn't a good ending, but it was an ending. And it's like a very, I feel like it's a very interesting time capsule of like certain things. A lot of certain things, and just views in general of certain topics. It's wow. Ooh, there is isn't he a delinquent who became a teacher? Yeah, exactly. Like, conceptually, I love the concept. The idea was that he's a delinquent. He was a delinquent when he was a student. And because he was a delinquent, most teachers would give up on him, essentially. So he decides to become a teacher to prove that those teachers were wrong for doing that, and you shouldn't give up on students. You shouldn't give up on kids because of their grades. And there's like a cool idea. There's like a core idea of a value system that is that more important than just trying to pass tests, school is useful for making friends and networking, and that those networks can be sometimes way more important than getting good grades in class. Which I don't know if applies to like fundamental level school, but it definitely applies to college. It's something that definitely applies very well to college. So basically, the reason why he becomes a teacher is because there is the school that has a bunch of troubled students, right? Bunch of troubled students who engage in bullying the crap out of the teachers who try to become their homeschool teachers. And he is put there because he is non-orthodox, and the director is like, I'm gonna bet all my chips on this losing horse because he thinks outside the box. He stopped kids from hurting the vice principal by hurting the vice principal first. This guy has vision. This guy has vision. It does feel a little bit like the principal is a little bit crazy, right? She might not be all there. But hey, it always pays off in the end, so I guess she was right. If it always pays off in the end, then I guess she's right, right? Or are you gonna say no to that? If the results are there. So it does like touch on a bunch of like sensitive topics that are kind of interesting to be discussed and stuff like that. Like the first student that Onizuka helps is basically a boy who is getting bullied by girls. And it touches upon that idea that he becomes helpless against this because he is a boy and boys shouldn't get bullied by girls, right? Even though technically boys shouldn't resort to violence either against girls. It was a situation that he felt very bad about, especially because he actually liked one of the girls who bullied him. Which causes him to decide to take on bungee jumping without a rope from the school ceiling, right? But fear not, Onizuka comes to save the day. And he saves him, and they both crash on the vice principal's brand new car, his beloved Cresta, which is there is like there are like some moments of complete dark humor and actual social critique with that, because the vice principal was more worried about the fact that his Cresta got squished than that a student jumped off the roof. You know? He was more bothered by that, and he hated Onizuka. While Onizuka was technically, sure, he destroyed your car, but he was doing so to save a life, right? So there's like this idea of like warped priorities, and those can be like interesting. However, this is actually a comedy anime, and none of these topics that I just said will be actually addressed in a very serious matter at all. And the solutions for the troubles are completely inane. They're completely inane and insane. GTO Netflix adaptation. That is actually a good question. That is actually a good question. It's 43 episodes. And boy, there are some wild character arcs in that. Like, the kid who bungee jumped from the ceiling, the school ceiling twice, right? He did it twice, by the way, due to how bad the bullying was. The series ends with him hooking up with his bully. Turns out the girl was just a tsundere all along, and she really, really liked him. Aw, isn't Ting Love cute? Aw, he died twice because of her bullshit, but she really just loved him. Ah, She took a bunch of kids. She took a bunch of other girls and made them beat him up and write names on his naked body. It's so cute. Oh, look how cute that is. She just didn't know how to express herself. Because her older brother liked to beat her up too. Like the tone is all over the place. The tone is all over the place. Because trauma justifies everything. I think that's one way to put the main. One of the things that kind of happens often on the show, whenever they needed like to redeem a character, it was like, oh, trauma justifies everything. It's like, I don't know. She still has bullying patterns. I don't know if these two should be together. Sure, it's gonna be great for both of their mental health if they're together, but sure. Sure, you go, King. You go. Pop off, I guess. The worst part about that show, for me personally, was all the weird. There was a whole lot of weirdness regarding teachers dating students, which was a thing that was brought up on the show a lot. And spoiler warning if you wanna know about the show. I don't think anyone here wants to watch 43 episodes for this, right? I can't spoil the story, right? Is that okay? Is it okay if I spoil the story? So basically, Onizuka gets hired because this class is out of control and they don't trust teachers as a point because they got screwed by a teacher a long time ago. And it's kind of the main reason to watch the show is this mystery. Like, what was so bad that caused this class of students who were mostly fine with teachers to just outright hating them completely and doing some like this real and creating this real cruel bullying problem. So here's basically what actually happened. They had a homeroom school teacher, right? Now, the homeroom school teacher in Japan, for those who don't know, is basically a teacher that doesn't just teach the class a specific subject. He is in charge of taking care of them if they have like life trouble. He is the one who helps them with that. He helps with organizing events, stuff like that. So this type of teacher has a special role in the life of the student. He's the teacher the students are going to talk with when they're having any issues and stuff like that. So they act like almost like a life advisor, right? Which means there's a deep bound of trust. So this teacher gets one of the students pregnant, a 13-year-old, may I add. But that's not the reason why the students stopped trusting adults. Because the teacher said he was going to take responsibility for having an affair with the student. But the student, I guess the board, the board of, I don't know, it's like the Ministry of Education, something like that. It was some guys from an office. They basically were like, are you fucking kidding with us? If this goes out, it's gonna be a huge scandal. We can't have that. We're gonna shove this whole affair thing under the rug. It is a pretty bad anime, kitty kitty. I mean, okay. Technically, it was hailed as a great anime of all time during its time. It is a poorly aged anime, is the best way to put it. So this council decided to completely, I don't know, Man in Black everyone involved, right? And the girl who was going to have the teacher's baby got depressed because he just left her and he didn't keep on his promise, and she bungee jumped without a rope from the school rooftop, and no one was there to stop her. So because of the trauma of losing their school member, they were like, adults suck actually, which, fair assessment. Hey Retros, how are you doing? But hey, you hit some. Sometimes you hit some, you lose some. Okay, I think this is a good approximation of Bobby's hair. Hey Okiba, terrible day today actually, Amal. How are you? I'm doing good, I'm talking about a terrible experience of an anime I watched. I watched the whole anime just because I wanted to see what the plot twist was, and it was very uncomfortable. And it's funny because I clearly remember people loving this anime back when it came out. So I'm gonna go with aged badly to the sensitivities of the audience. Have you seen Cowboy Bebop? I need to see Cowboy Bebop. I read the manga, but the manga is not actually connected to the anime. I mean, hot take, Jujutsu Kaisen is not as good as people say. Honestly, I can see that. Like, I didn't even know there was a manga. It was a very short run. It had like 5 issues total. It was like a bunch of short stories with the characters. You could say the manga was like extra filler episodes for the anime. JJK is a shonen. Yes, JJK is a shonen. Honestly though, not the worst shonen out there. Not the worst shonen out there by a long mile. And you know what JJK is? JJK is gonna be the entry bridge for a lot of people when it comes to anime. JJK is gonna be an entry anime for a lot of people. Just like Naruto was, just like Dragon Ball Z was, right? The main goal of these animes is not to be masterpieces, but to be things that are that get people hyped for liking this different type of animation. JJK lacks so much stories, mostly out of farming and action, which really doesn't vibe with me. Ah, I see. That is fair. And what I would say is that it is an anime that isn't for you, but has its audience, and that is fine. But do you watch Ultra Mommy, retro gamers? Do you watch Ultra Mommy? Oh, retro gamers, I only like the most refined and cultured anime of them all. Yes, I only like watching Queen's Blade. Oh god. Queen's Blade was funny though. Oh yeah, solo leveling is absolutely out of farming. Absolutely out of farming. What are you laughing about, Kiba? Have you ever seen Queen's Blade? Not even Boku no Pico. I'd rather not be on a list. I feel like nowadays, if you say you like that show, you just go straight to a list. What is Boku no Pico? Boku no Pico... how do I put it? I'm very religious, so I watch that Bible anime a lot. I'm not actually religious. So, retros... that anime is essentially... Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Please don't actually look it up. Look. 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 I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Just don't look it up, okay? In the 2000s, we had a lot of edgy, ironic memes that are terrible. Boku no Pico is one of those memes. Essentially, what it is a very, very it's straight up like young boys having gay sex, the anime. It's young boys having gay sex anime of age that they should not be doing these things on camera, essentially. And it is considered extremely bad. It is considered extremely shocking. It was basically the gold sack of anime. People would bait each other into watching that to traumatize each other. That was the meme of Boku no Pico. There are actually, if you look it up, you can still find a lot of content creators who doing like watch parties to do like reaction videos. Just to be like, oh my god, and stuff like that. It is one of those memes. It is one of those memes. It is the meme of all times. Oh, now I wished I never asked. Yep. Yep. And now you know. Why is this not working? I'm saying okay, and it's not... because of this. Okay, I died. Thank you forever. I'm gonna explode. So yeah, so... Don't look it up. Not worth looking it up. I'm not evil enough to bait you into looking that up, retros. Yeah. You can look up Queen's Blade though. Queen's Blade is basically a very weird Queen's Blade is a very weird one. Queen's Blade is actually an anime based on a card game that basically asked the question, what if? You've heard the long tongue. I only remember the pink slime girl. She's cute. She's cute. So Queen's Blade is the anime that's based on the card game that asked the question, how can we make this card game as impossible to play in public as possible? And they were like, you know what? Let's make damage clothes a game mechanic. And basically, you had the card game where you would track your damage by how many pieces of clothing were left. It was a TCG. It was a TCG. It was a TCG. You had the cards. You had the cards for like each different stage of damage, and each different stage of damage had less clothing left. Oh, Shadowverse is super tame compared to this, don't you worry about that. Shadowverse is the tamest. I'll be real, the character design and character creation. Oh, she is a cutie patootie. She's absolutely a cutie patootie. She's also technically from another game from Cygames. She is from Black Lagoon. They just reused the characters from Bahamut Lagoon. Sorry, I think it was called Bahamut Lagoon. Bahamut Fury? Yeah, it was another thing. They reused a lot of assets making Shadowverse. Okay, we're doing good, but... we need to do... the horns. And the shorter bunny ears. Interesting that the bunny ears are shorter. So this is a very pink horn. When does this become reverse bunnysuit? Actually, Red commissioned me to do reverse bunnysuit, which I did. But we can't show that here on stream because Red specifically wanted nips out, so... She's a very horny girl. Indeed. Okay. Let me think here. For the horns, I'm gonna do this thing here. Then actual horns, we're gonna do it like this. Gotta do. But yeah, Queen's Blade, honestly, it's so over the top. It is so dumb and so horny. It loops around to being really, really funny. It feels almost like a hentai parody. Like the parody of a hentai. Did you ever see Freezing? I saw Freezing. I don't like Freezing very much because everyone feels so mean-spirited in that anime. I don't know why. It makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Everyone is so angry in that anime. I'm like, guys, aren't you supposed to be, like, fighting the monsters? Why are you fighting each other so much? I don't know. That was the impression. I didn't read it too much into it. There are a lot of ecchi battle anime. There are. My favorite one in over-the-top ridiculousness was ridiculous concept was the one where the alchemist needed milk to fuel their superpowers. So, and it was milk that they could only get from big titty anime girlfriends. That one was ridiculous. It has been a while since I watched it though. Seiko no Quasar, that's the one. Ikuto-sen was interesting. Ikuto-sen, I actually bought the manga by accident. Not by accident, but like I didn't know exactly what I was buying. When I went on a trip to Argentina a long time ago, my mom basically won a trip to Bariloche on like a context at work or something like that. Some anime live rent-free in my head. And I got the manga entirely in Spanish. And like one of the first scenes of the manga, I just bought it because I thought the art on the cover looked pretty. Then one of the first arts in the cover was a girl getting choked and peeing. It was like, oh, what did I buy? What the heck did I just buy? I don't have it anymore. It felt like one of those things that you needed to keep it hidden from your parents at all times. I never had the bandwidth to have a secret prawn collection, you know. Too much work. This is cute. My drawing? Thank you. This is a commission, by the way. This is Bobby Candy. For, as you can see, this is your character here, if you saw from the mode. Bobby Candy? Yes! That is her handle. She streams on Twitch. Funny, Bobby means pig in my language. Really? Huh. Oh my god. I made this... Wanna hear something funny, Super Fudge? I made that emote. I gave that animation to her on her birthday a long time ago. Bouncing Booba, indeed. Oh, I'm glad that she still has it. That's cute. I managed to put a lot of bounce in 4 frames with that one. Here. Do I do the shadow effect? I think her horns are so bright pink that maybe instead of shadows we just do some anti-aliasing here effects instead. There we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. We got the horns. Now we need to adjust this bunny. These bunny ears. Her bunny ears are very much shorter. Now, you just reminded me something interesting, Retros. I remember when I was starting out as an artist, I got in touch with like a lot of different artists and met a bunch of different people. There was this girl who she had a fursona, and she had a pig fursona actually, which I think it's like pretty rare. That is something you really don't see a lot of. Pigs aren't exactly very popular as fursonas. So I always remember that essentially. Okay, so I'll basically have to do. I don't know if I'm gonna have to do like a different animation for her, because this ear is very different from the one I made. Yeah, we're gonna have to adapt. You see. Yep. That is cool. That was like one thing I remember. I remember her because of that specifically.
Did you know that if you pick up a pen and start drawing multiple pictures, you can stop using AI-generated art?
Thank God for that. Thank God for that. I don't know what that came from. Thing is, you don't even need to pick up a pen. You can... I do it with a mouse. You can do it with a mouse. I'm not even using a pen for this. I'm using a mouse. That actually reminds me, Momochi was reading a book a while ago, and the book had an interesting concept. They called it shadow artists. Digital and aerial art is actually different according to my coworker. I mean, yes, they're different mediums. But like, there are ways to cross these mediums together. Shadow artist. So a shadow artist is someone who wants to be a creative, wants to draw, wants to be an artist, right? But for one or other reason, they convince themselves that they can't do it. Be it, I don't have talent, other people are more special, I could do it if I had the time, but I never gonna have the time, you know? That kind of stuff. So they end up being unfulfilled artists, essentially. And some of them, sounds like imposter syndrome. It can be, but usually the imposter syndrome is someone who does it and doesn't, someone who does something and isn't able to recognize that what they're doing has value. Right? Now, the shadow artist will then either latch on to a creative, right? Will either latch on to a creative or lash out at creatives to either do the art for them or like hate people who art, essentially. And the whole, when I see the people who are like, I use AI, I am an artist, I am reminded of this concept. I'm very reminded of this concept of like the guy with repressed artistic feelings. And I don't know. There is something there. There is something there. But I forget what it does. Continue. So yeah, I think a lot of AI artists who go like, oh, this is actually a lot of work. You guys don't even understand. I'm actually being a creative. And the ones who are like, oh my god, you stole my AI generated art. How dare you? Stuff like that. I think they're shadow artists, you know? I think they convinced themselves a long time ago that they couldn't do it. And now that there is like a way that is easy enough to pretend like they're actually doing it, they are just channeling. Oh, what did you think would happen? Oh, it actually already wore off? Here, you can look at it for a while longer. It's fine. I don't mind. Aggressive. I blinked and didn't realize what changed. Can you spot the difference? Can you spot the difference? Wow, there's more booba. Correct. I am having way too much fun with this model, not gonna lie. I need to properly adjust the other toggles. We are gonna sorta come back to normal after, because I think I had enough fun. Not really, but you know, there are people who like the male models and stuff like that. So I do need to adjust those back again. And even the lower pixel ones. I think the way I wanna do this is I wanna have like one toggle that changes the gender. Right, so it would change from my non-pixel model to this model. Then you have the lower resolution model. The lower resolution model would change to the older model if I am in the female form, and if I am in the male form, it changes to my male pixel model. And the chibi is the chibi, yes. I'll spend the lower resolution one every time. I mean, if you want to. Why? Because I'm retro. But this is still retro graphics, right? Or did I make it too advanced for you? Hello, Nachi. Welcome to the stream. Is your name Nachi or Naki? Like Naki. I like Naki. Nah, it's still very big on me, very retro styled. Wow! Ow, ow, ow. Okay, okay. I hit let's go. Thank you for the pet, Fudge. Yeah, I think these are the years essentially. It's Nox, but you can call me Nachi. I'll call you Nox. It's okay. I'd rather call people by their actual name. How are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. We are doing pixel art of Bobby Candy today. It's a commission. Bunnysuit fan? No. I'm digging these remixes. They're very good. Kiba loves bunny suits. Bunny suits are fun. Just lurking our channels to have something to watch me while I work. Ah, I see, I see. Thank you for choosing me then. Hope you have a wonderful lurk. And a wonderful day at work. Where's yours then? I never thought about making a bunny suit. Interesting. Although technically speaking, it's right here. Though technically this is a basic one. I wonder what it would be like if I made a custom one. Maybe I could put like some fur here in the sides, right? Kinda like with my ninja suit. Guys, don't distract me too much. I still need to do the Gyaru first. Technically, he should have a sheep suit to fit the idiom. I mean, kinda do. Kinda do. I kinda do. Here's my sheep suit. I got this old Momochi model. It's still on my PC for some reason. Behold my sheep suit. Ha. Oh, it's Momochi. Yeah, that's Momochi 1.0. Little Red Riding Hood Kiba would be fun. Oh my god. Oh my god, don't give me too many ideas. I'm gonna overwork Lunatic. It is pretty. Momochi is very pretty. That's why she's my wifey. Yes. Okay, so her bunny suit doesn't have the cuffs. Just make sure Lunatic is caffeinated. Aw, poor Lunatic. Kiba simping for his own wives? That's something I don't know. I didn't know I needed to hear. Momochi is a wonderful artist. She is responsible for my model designs, actually. She designed both my first model and my current one. I took ideas from her design when I made the female version, essentially. And she is lovely. I don't think we can make the tattoo. I don't think we can make the tattoo. Okay, so let's see what color we're dealing with here. So I think I can... Yeah, so we do it like this. This one for this. It's not gonna be 1-to-1 though. Yeah, this model is different. This model is different. Also with tummy piercing. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see. Do we do this? This plus this? Nah. Abort. That's not gonna work. I think I'm gonna have to change this one by one, essentially. Or we can do the simple way. There's a simple way to do this. There's a hard way and a simple way. Oh, this is not a good shading. This is not a good shadow. It's not a good shadow color. So if we can make it like this, and then we can here a little bit in the spectrum, and then we do this. There you go. Okay, this is a better shadow color. I think I'm gonna make I'm actually gonna make her belly button in a different frame, so it's easier to put over on the other ones. So this would be if it looked forward. It doesn't quite fit. It's too centralized. Okay, like this, I think works. I think it works. And then for the belly button. Alright, I'm gonna hop off out. Thank you, but today was actually kinda hard for me, but after the stream I'm feeling much better. Aww. Thank you for dropping by, Retro. I hope your day gets better. Thank you. Have a good one. Now, do we... I think we use the metal for the belly button. Piercing. Because at this point it's gonna be very hard to see. Could do just this. Kinda works. Yeah, there you go. This works. Now, for the rest. So, this one, she has a more risque cut. So, we're gonna go ahead and do this. And we can do like this. Yep. Are you eating panties, Superfudge? Is that what the emote means? I am curious about the combo. I think it's a bit more. And then here, there is some claw action happening. right? Let's see. How can we make these claws pop off? In pixel art. We don't want too much of the claws, right? Because then it will be harder to see the rest of the vulva. So, how about... maybe like this? Maybe one shorter. Maybe like this. Although there is like a thing as too much of one of the same color. I wanna reuse certain colors and shadings as much as possible, because otherwise the GIF file goes crazy and start doing weird blinks. I had this problem before. It's very interesting when it happens. Very annoying too. I think it's better if it's gray here though. Are you ready for April Fools? Are you? Because Momochi is the one who strings. Momochi is the one who's gonna string on April Fool. It's a Momochi day. Technically, all I have to do is do a post to this year. And Momochi likes to go all out when it comes to April Fool. And I saw a bit of what she's preparing. It's gonna be an interesting string, I'll tell you that much. It is gonna be an interesting string. I mean, she always makes her strings interesting, of course. Oh wait, that's tomorrow, fuck. Red alert, incoming Momochi, April Fool's screen. Run for the hills, but also tune in. I think the claws are nice. What do you guys think? Now we got some extra clauses here. There we go, that will help us keep track. I'm actually curious now, Super Fudge. You follow Bobby, right? Was it a coincidence that you came across me? Huh, that's funny. The internet is indeed small. This is a small internet after all. This is a small internet after all. This is a small internet after all. Now I need to take my Adderall. What a beautiful song. Nails. Layer. Let's make her wings. I was following you first. Ah, I see. Shotomate. Maybe I should put the wings over the body. So this is body. And this here is tummy. And we can place wings here. We're gonna hide the bunny tail a little bit, but what do you do? What can you do? Right? You know, I was a little bit scared when I woke up today that I wouldn't be able to stream. Because the eye drop was still in effect, but it's gotten much better, thankfully. Which is nice, because now I'm able to stream for you all. Working on this commission. Ledger okay? Yeah. I'm usually fine. Classic Kiba tenacity. Heck yeah. Yeah, I am lucky. The eye drops affect me slightly different than they affect Momochi. Because the eye drops will straight up make Momochi eyesight blur. Mine doesn't blur, mine just become hyper photosensitive. But it's already better. Is and on the other side. Whoop. There we go. Take the gloves out so I can see better. Yeah. Little bit. Like, there we go. I think this works. I think this works well. Let's just stick it on here. Perfect. Whoa, those are some mean wings. They look pretty good. If I do say so myself. Are the wings too high? Are they more butt wings? I'm a little unsure. Maybe they are a little bit thinner here. There we go. Now we can show a little bit more of the pom-pom. Perfect. Very good, very good, very good. What else needs adjusting? Oh, right. The stockings are fuller. I don't quite understand what this is. This is like a little... Unfortunately, she didn't give me a full picture reference of her bunnysuit. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna lift up the... Gonna lift this up. Right. We can do the thing. There is no tie shine here because the fabric. If this was like leather or latex, then there would be the shine. It's more this color, right? Let's see how this works. Lighter here, then like this, and finally I'm gonna put this right here. There we go. And now no references on the shoes either. I think I'm gonna keep it this color here. Seems like a good color. Feels like a good fit. There we go. Here we are. Oops. Now I just need some adjustments. I'm not entirely sure what this is. Feels like a transparent. But the main thing here is it has these rope thingies. The nuts. You know, maybe I could do this texture from like a different... Oh, I have an idea. Hold up. We're gonna use a technique. We're gonna use a manga technique. It's called decalc. I don't know what's called in English, so I'm gonna use decalc. And basically the idea is, in manga, in order to do certain things like action lines and stuff like that, right? They would have these ready-made drawings that you would scratch in to make the texture of stuff. So this was used a lot for like making flower fabric, flower patterns and stuff like that in samurai's clothing. And the aforementioned action lines were very, very popular with that. So we're gonna take a page of that. It's like a brush. It's like a brush. It was an IRL version of a brush, essentially. And while I can't exactly do a pixel art brush, maybe there are pixel art brushes, I don't know. I can do this. And then I do want to save this. I'm gonna put this right here in the last frame. And now we do this. We just do this. Look how fast this is. There we are. Instead of carefully trying to draw it one by one, we can just delete where it doesn't apply. Much better. Much better. What? Hello. Okay, I have been warned that I need to take my mandatory break. So I will go eat something and I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, okay everyone? There is more Booba and I on the way. BRB. And we're back. I had a ham sandwich, ham and cheese sandwich. Why mess with classics, you know? No reason. They're good for a reason. Delicious. And sandwich and a latte. I don't need much to be happy. Oh, there was salami in there. There was salami in there, which was very good, very good. Oh yeah, had something really funny happen. Me and Momochi, we discovered that like really close to our home, there is a I don't know what other way to say it. It's like a food store, essentially. It's a food store. It sells food in it. It's kind of like a grocer, but not really. We call them not almoxarifado. What was the name? Armazéns. We call them armazéns here. And they had like a bunch of like import foods and stuff like that. It was very yummy. It was very yummy. It was also very funny because, oh my god. Okay, the sprite is rocking right now. Sprite is kind of rocking hard. I'm digging this a lot. We still need this transparent thingy here that I don't exactly know what it is. Let me just name this real quick. Fishnets. Huh? What did I do here? Why is this screwy? I probably... there you go. Oof. Fish. There you go. That moment when you accidentally press a button and changes everything temporarily. There it is. But it was like super... There was like so much tasty food there. There was so much tasty food. We need to go back there and grab some more stuff, but we grabbed a few things. It had some interesting things. It had these special salamis that are filled with like there was a salami there that was filled with cheese. There's a salami that is filled with olives. It has olives inside of it. Looks really good. I didn't bought that one. I kind of regret it though. We bought the one that's filled with cheese. I haven't tried it yet, but it's probably pretty good. Yep, there we go. There we go. There we go. But like, it's interesting. Usually when I watch old anime, there are some animes that have parts of it that didn't age well, right? This is normal. It's a time capsule and everything. The Onizuka Sensei one, which I still remember being highly rated at the time, had so much wrong with it. Just so much wrong stuff. I guess part of the idea was that the teacher was sorta wrong per se because it was countercultural and whatever. But boy, did a lot of the takes, especially the ones regarding itchy jokes and stuff like that. Did they age poorly? I was flabbergasted. I was flabbergasted. It was very much on the uncomfortable spectrum. And it honestly it resonated with memories I had of stuff that happened around my school too, right? Because of this, let's just say, unique approach to these matters. Okay. I still don't have the... This is like a little rag, so what are we going to do about this? Has to be above the fishnets. It's probably gonna be something that I'm gonna have to animate it to. I think the best way to do it is simply... We could get some like this, plus transparency. Yeah, this looks correct. However, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the rag without the transparency. Not a rag, it's the little cloth thing. I'm gonna do it without the transparency. And then I'm gonna add in the transparency here. And the reason I am doing like this is because that way, no matter if like I drew it over again, it won't cause the transparency to change, which is very important. Because if I color it with the transparency color, what would usually happen is every time I pass it over it, the transparency would overlap with one with the other, right? And it would become more opaque each time, so I would have to be very careful when drawing and never like drawing over anything. So like this, I have way more freedom as an artist. Now, I don't exactly know how this works. I'm assuming it's something like this. This is very much an assumption. So it does get darker. So maybe we do the dark color here. We do it like this. Interesting, interesting. Very interesting. Oops. What? Oh, it still does the thing that is a little bit annoying. Okay. It seems that it's not gonna always be one-to-one. Although, is this a better color? This is a way better color for the shadow. Yeah. Accidentally, we stumbled on a better color. Which... Alright, I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it. Like this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Oof. We did it. Now, all we need to do is do it all over again for every single other sprite. Nah, just kidding, just kidding. I played the Limbo Sting peak. What Limbo Sting? They added a new thing while I wasn't looking? What was it? What's the Limbo Sting? Think I want this color? Did they already add? I see the commission thing is coming along. The base sprite is done. The base sprite is pretty much done. There we go. Now, the main thing I need to do, right, is first things first, I'm gonna send this sprite for approval. Let me see, I think this zoom is good enough. And then the capture tool decides to not work, but I know how to force it to work. There we go. Now, I'll send it to the client. And what do we do? What do we do? We still have 1 hour of stream. Technically, I shouldn't be able to work on anything else until the client approves the sprite. But there is one thing we can do. There is one very important thing we can do. See, Bobby has very thick thighs. So we are going to adjust the thighs on every other frame. The thigh size on every other frame. Which should take a little while. It should take a little while, so it should help us have stuff to do for the string, essentially. Here you go, Lunatic. Look at the full pixel art. I did increase the thigh size to match her model. Theoretically, if I was doing 1-to-1, I would have to increase the thigh size a whole lot more, but I think this is a good abstraction for your character here. Alright, Lunatic, have a good Nini. Go rest, have a good one. Bye-bye. Thank you for the pet. Ha. I see you let the titties breathe today. There was requests. There were requests. Also, I forgot to put them back in. Thanks for reminding me. I ruined the chat. It's fine, don't worry about it. We do this. Bye-bye, have a good one. God, Undertale music is so good. I love games with good music. I really, really do. I haven't heard this one before. Let's see. Momo Games has added a bunch of like remixes of their music on Spotify, and I immediately added all of them to my playlist. I hope there's no issues regarding that, but I can't. I can't not put these here, they are too good. They are just too good. I really love the music that they make for the games. It's very distinct. It's very distinct. It's like a lo-fi mix. I think she's offline right now, so yeah, we're gonna have to just work on the tie and waist increase. Which, fair enough. As a Tikaro appreciator, I have no issues with. And from the way she draws herself, I don't think she's gonna be like, oh, actually, I want the thighs to be smaller. Actually, she's not gonna do that to me. I am sure we're okay on that. I am sure we're safe on that front. Though I will admit, it is a little bit risky to do what I'm doing. Working on parts of the art without the okay for from the person I was commissioned. Let's see. I also need to, there is another commission that I need to deliver today. It was a really cute pixel art. It was a really cute pixel art. And I can actually show it to you. I'll show it. Hold up. Let me see, where is it? Here we go. Look at this cutie. Isn't this cute? I'm trying to refine. I think I found a new style when I made this bunny one, right? And I do want to refine this type of the pixel art that I made here. I do want to refine the style. This size is like peak size for... how do you say? It's peak style for like anime sprites. Because it has just enough size so you can make the anatomy more detailed and at the same time keep a good amount of expression in the face of the character. It's just something I'm always looking for. Man, that is a significant. There is a significant difference. It is a significant difference. Interesting. It's very interesting. Like, one of the main things that fascinate me about pixel art is the fact that you can change stuff by like 1 or 2 pixels, and it's such a huge change. It can be such a huge change. It can make a drawing way more detailed or way less detailed based on like single pixel of thickness, a single pixel, extra pixel put in. I find it so interesting. It never ceases to amaze me. It never ceases to amaze me. And it's so much fun. It's so much fun to discover these types of things. It makes me happy, honestly. You know, I could just increase the waist size from here. There's nothing wrong with it about that. Okay, so type priority is still on the side. Still do it like this. And over here. Just like this. Hey Demi! Booba! Booba indeed! Booba and Ice! How are you doing? Hello, hello! Hope you're doing good today. I'm doing great. What about you? I'm doing great too. I'm doing great too. Like I was talking, I was a little bit scared that I couldn't stream today because I went to the eye doctor and they did the eye drop thing, right? Where you get Ah, okay, okay. So it's more like this. I find pixel art very interesting. While I still struggle with the colors, it's easy to make something quick. It is, it is! Yeah, Momochi was actually talking about this the other day with me. We have an art school nearby, right? And the art school has a course there for color theory, which is something that is extremely important for artists, right? It's all about which colors to pick in designs and what colors match with each color. How can you use different colors to do different effects, like shadows and stuff like that, right? Because, like, originally, when you are trying to, let's say, you're picking a color for a shadow, right? The easiest way to do that is to simply go here and look, well, this is this color, but darker, therefore shadow. And this usually works, but if you want to make like a color with like a special contrast or something like this, or you want to give like a special light effect and stuff like this, you can't just do that. Then you gotta like, there are like colors that match, and you can use different colors. Like for instance, if I was doing the shadows for this, with this specifically tone, this is what I would have picked. Doesn't pop off as much as this, that is like from a whole different color pattern, right? Now, understanding how to do this for like every other color, I think it's basically what the course attempts to teach. Which honestly is very tempting. I would love to learn that. It's just that money has been a little bit short lately. Because I did the basic arts. I did the basic art theory course together with Momochi, and because it was both of us, it ended up costing a decent chunk of money from our reserves, let's say. But now that it's finally all the installments are paid, and we're also gonna stop with the singing lessons next month. Next month is the final month that we'll be doing the singing lessons. Because honestly, I think we learned what we wanted. Because when we started with the singing lessons, the point of the singing lessons wasn't to sing per se. It was actually so we could learn how to control our voices better, how to take care of our voices better. Because streaming is a lot of yapping. And if you yap without caution, if you make like voice impressions without really knowing what you're doing, you tire out your throat a lot, right? And it could be bad in the long run, right? You hear this all the time. There are streamers like develop like lumps on their throat or stuff like that. Scary stuff can happen. So we didn't want any of that. So originally, we were going to do voice acting lessons. Unfortunately, we didn't understand how the voice acting course worked. And you needed to have a diploma, an actual bachelor's diploma, and acting before you could take that course. And it wasn't announced anywhere. They didn't ask for it when we were signing up for it, right? It was like a cute little surprise that they left for us at the start of the course. So we ended up going to the first class and getting kicked out of there. It was like a really bad feels moment, right? And then the sing lessons opened up. And the teacher is really nice, by the way. I do, if there is one thing that I do feel kind of bad about, is the fact that we're not gonna be seeing her anymore because we won't be taking the lessons. And honestly, she was just like very, very nice. But I kind of started to run out of stuff to bring to sing for her to sing. And yeah, we mostly achieved our goal. There are things that I learned that I need to practice, obviously. I don't do them very well because I lack practice, but most of the techniques I've already understood. Particularly the hold your belly technique. Because you gotta do that if you wanna sound higher pitch. You need to hold your belly with your muscles, with your belly muscles. Otherwise the airflow doesn't hold and you start straining your vocal cords. That's the kind of stuff that we needed to learn, that we did learn. So like I said, mission accomplished. Pick it up. Let me drink some water here. So yeah, we're gonna have some extra spending money. Now, which is good. Go into this. And maybe in the close future I will take that color theory. You hear about it all the time, right? Have you ever heard about color theory? Ever heard people commenting on color theory? It is actually like a #1 differential between self-taught artists and artists who actually took proper lessons. It's also apparently very eldritch to learn. How eldritch it is, I have no idea, but I do have like a... Momochi bought this really huge book about it that is on our office, actually. And it's all very difficult sounding, and I don't understand it when I try to read a few pages. It is interesting though. Like, I'm still processing the singing lessons part. Like, I think it would benefit me, but I'm also too scared to take those lessons. It depends. Like, the main thing is, we did the singing lesson class, because there's like no real like voice training class or voice acting class, right? Which was what we actually wanted. The singing lessons kind of help with that, because it kind of comes with in the package. But I think if you have access to like actual voice training lessons, they probably work better, I think. Or voice acting. But I don't know, maybe in your country is like ours and you need an acting class in order to take voice training classes. Now the thing that we need to do is we need to go to a throat specialist, right? Phonoaudiologist, I don't know if it has a specific name in English. But basically that is most of what we need right now. Okay, is this the same body? I think this is the same body. Yes, this is the same body. To like check our throats and maybe give us some extra advice based on what they see in there, right? It's really funny going from these frames because you can see the thighs deflating. I still can't quite get over the fact that I actually saw on Twitter the other day a inflation VTuber. Inflation themed VTuber. Honestly, good on them. They're serving a niche. I hope they find their niche. But it's also like, wow, the internet's such a big place. There are just so many facets to VTubing. I am always surprised. I am always surprised. And yes, I did look up their stream because I was curious if the toggles would make the visibility of the game they were playing much worse, and the answer was yes. Yes, it does. But I also don't think the audience the streams were made for really care. I do get curious. I do get curious from time to time. There we go. And honestly, if they are doing this for an 18+ crowd and they're just doing what they love, God bless and Godspeed. I am currently a pixel wolf girl on the internet, so who am I to judge? Ow! Why? That is fair. That is fair. I've been called an F-tuber. A flash tuber. That will happen. That will happen. Did you know, though? Did you know that if you mix flash tubing, let's borrow the term, flash tubing with actual VTubing, you are now called an X-tuber, aka a cross-tuber, because you use both. Did you know that that's an actual term that people are using now? Oh, I think this is the same frame as this one. Hold up. This makes this much easier. Yeah, here we go. Oh, is this the same as this one? Does that would be awesome. Yep, there we go. Let's see. Nope. I think she's sleeping right now. I think she's sleeping right now. So, unfortunately, this is about as far as we can come with the progress of this commission. Because we still need approval on the base sprite. Maybe she changes something, you know? Maybe she changes something. So we still have at least 20 to 1 hour to go. So here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna go back to working on the project we started last week. So there we go. Like I say, we always have something. There's always something to do. And when there's nothing to do, we can make shit up. If there's nothing to do, we can make shit up. Make things up, that's my specialty. Exactly. Source, I made it the fuck up. Classic. God. That meme is so freaking relevant nowadays. Man, I use it to like hearing reviews of games and shows and stuff like that, right? That I didn't necessarily ever watch it because I usually like to see people who are passionate about stuff ranting about their favorite stuff, their likes and dislikes and stuff like that. But I recently discovered that there are people who take advantage of people who wanna hear these reviews and stuff like that, and they kind of sorta start making shit up and do like wild assumptions that to justify their worldviews. And sometimes you are looking for like just some video essay to hear in the background while you work, and then you hear some really weird, outrageous things. They're like, wait, what? Seems to happen a lot in Star Wars reveals. Which has apparently a very huge crowd of Disenchanted fans at the moment. And honestly, that is kinda... It's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, what are you trying to sell? So now I feel like I can't necessarily trust the internet anymore. When it comes to telling me what's a good show or not. Because I kept, my algorithm kept feeding me a bunch of videos saying that the Acolyte show was like really terrible. But then when I watched a video talking about it, it like degenerated very quickly into personally attacking the writer and who they were as a person, and it got like really scary all of a sudden. The only thing that was missing was the guy like start giving out the address of the person who wrote it. They did find that there was an AI putting out a game review. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I mean, honestly, like with how some game reviewers are, that they never they don't seem to play the game at all, or at least not as much as they should. Which, in some cases, it's almost understandable because a lot of games do come out very fast. And you're rewarded for putting out reviews fast and not putting it out accurately, right? I can imagine someone just going, okay, this game is XXX, just make it sound like we played it. Go, little bot, go! Jesus Christ. Now let's see, from what I remember, we are trying to make like they're doing a dramatic pose. They look like they're running, and I think I want to lean into that actually. I do think I actually want to lean into that. Personally, I don't hate AI, the program, but I hate the people who mute it. I don't think it's very productive to be mad at a chatbot, essentially. What's essentially a chatbot? Oh god, hold up. That actually reminded me of something so cringe. Hold up. Okay. So there was this bank in Brazil, right? Who basically replaced their customer service with a chatbot, right? This isn't even like a chat GPT, by the way. This is like those asinine chatbots that it's like, hello there, you have reached X. If you have a question, you can press blah blah blah. It was like those advanced chatbots from before ChatGPT. It was very cheap, basically, is what I'm saying. It probably didn't cost as much water. So they put the bot out, right? It had a woman's voice. It had a woman's name. I think it was called something like actually, I don't remember the name. Hold up. I can search that one real quick. Let me see. Shit, what was the name? Let's see. Yeah, they don't even have the name anymore because of the cringeness of what happened. But yeah, basically they put the chatbot in, it had a girl's name, and because it was very flawed, people were getting mad at it, right? And they started spouting like misogynist slurs at it. So the response of the bank to that was that they decided this was a prime opportunity to show that they were true ally of womanhood, and they decided to program the chatbot to ask for an apology if it detected these types of slurs in the chat. And then they advertised this like they were doing a favor to womanhood everywhere, while technically replacing an actual human being who could as well have been several women working there, right? With the chatbot, and then trying to grandstand off it. So it's not fair to call the bot names, obviously, but at the same time, everything was wrong from every direction, and they were trying to get social credit off it. So it was so, it was a lot. It was a lot. Didn't go the way they planned it. Didn't go the way they planned it. People didn't really respect them for doing that. Wasn't like the amazing social move they thought it was. Okay, so there's a thing I kinda wanna do. But I don't know if I'll be able to. Because I think they are a little bit too far away for that. Nah. I think them just touching hands is cute enough, I think. I wanted for them to make a little heart with their hands, but I don't think I can make it in a way they reach, unless... Hold up. Maybe there's a way. Maybe there is a way. We could make them closer. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish the base bowls and then we start experimenting with the hands themselves. Probably a better idea to do that. Probably a better idea to do that first. This is very chill. I do love art strings. I love playing games, but I do love art strings too. But also, I do really want to finish this Collision. That game has been sitting on my Steam library for like 5 years. And I can't. The fact that I started it and never finished it, I can't. I can't. I need to finish this. I need to finish that game. Do you have a game like that, chat? Do you have a game like that that's been haunting you from the Steam library that you actually touched it on but never finished? What game? Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium. It's the game where you're a fuck-up cop that gave yourself brain damage from drinking too much. Which gives the perfect excuse of why you as the player don't understand the world around you and allows you to explore further. It's like an isekai, but it's prompted by booze. It's like a booze-prompted isekai, really. Sounds cool. It is super cool. It is super cool. Took me 4 years to finish Tales of Berseria. Really? Really? Did you get stuck in a part? Did you like always get stuck in a part and then you like didn't pick it up? I have over 150 games like that. Yeah, I get that. I got that. You know what actually got me to start finishing games? Streaming. Streaming is what got me to finish games. Because I was very much like that of, like, oh, I'm gonna play this game. Oh, new game come out. I'm gonna play this game that came out. Oh, new game came out. I'm gonna play this game that came out, you know? You played on max difficulty. No. Don't. Okay. This is like an important life lesson. Max difficulty doesn't make you a gamer in 95% of the games. 95% of the games out there. All max difficulty does is make enemies into health sponge. Most of the games. Unfortunately, because this is the easiest way to make a game more difficult, is to just make the fights longer by default, right? And it's not worth it. It's not like usually the harder difficulties of certain games, particularly RPGs and stuff, they're not necessarily a curated experience. Let's just put it that way. they're not necessarily how the game developers wanted you to play the game. Now, there are exceptions to that rule. There are a lot of exceptions to that rule, actually. Like, I played a few newer Mega Man games on this channel. I played Mega Man 9, Mega Man 10, Mega Man 11. I don't know about Mega Man 11, but I could tell from Mega Man 10 that the harder difficulty did add like newer enemies to the stage, and that I can tell it's a curated experience from the game devs. It is something that the game devs are like actually put thought into, where they're like, yeah, putting an enemy here would make it pretty asshole. Let's put that in the harder difficulty. Those are the types of games where choosing the harder difficulty will give you like a distinct gaming experience, so to speak. It's like an actual challenge from the game devs to you, not just, no, make the health bars bigger. So, if I would add a quest line of several of the hardest difficulty, would that make it difficult? Yes. Yes. Cutie Kitty, one thing, that would make the difficulty more interesting, and thing number two, it would add replayability to your game because you could like lock an entire quest line and an entire story behind the difficulty mode. Some people would hate you for it though, because they would feel like their skill is locking them out of content. So there is like a drawback to doing that. There are drawbacks. Usually people don't do that because of drawbacks, but this was very common in older games. There are games where you can only actually beat the game at the hardest difficulty. This is very common in older games. And some games would actually go as far as to, get this, they would make you play the game in normal difficulty and then make you replay the game in the harder difficulty in order for you to get the true ending. Which is much better than what Wrath of Asura did, which was they made you play the game in regularly released from CD, and then you had to buy the DLC if you wanted to see the true ending. They literally made a DLC for the ending of a game. Capcom can be greedy fuckers when they want to. It was not that particular detail was not well received. People really liked it, Wrath of Ashura, but they really hated that one part. I'm aware of the limits. I would not put the storyline behind it, but extra cuts and such. Yeah. It could be cool. It could be cool. One way you could make it like enticing for the players to try out these things is like maybe lock some NPC character development behind it. That could be a thing, right? Or because of maybe the harder quest can change how the world looks overall or something like that. There could be things. There could be things there. There could definitely be things there. There are several ways to do it. Not a single one of them is right or wrong, I think. I don't feel like game development is a solved science. I feel like people like to act like it is, but I don't think it is. I think it's actually still just as experimental as it's ever been. It's just that a lot of companies have decided to take some norms and conventions and call them the right thing because it seems to increase sales. And they do, until people get freaking tired of them. Also, Slay the Spire came out. Awesome game, absolutely amazing. I try to play a little bit of it every day because it's a blast to play. Every class is a blast to play. But I also feel a little bit bad for the artists because their art style has greatly increased from the first game. But Slay the Spire, whenever people are talking like gameplay versus graphics, they always bring up Slay the Spire as like the example of why graphics don't matter. And I feel like, and as someone who is an artist, I do feel for the people who made the graphics for Slay the Spire. It's like, thanks, but come on, we put extra animations. It looks good, right? It looks good, right? Can you please praise us a little bit here? I know that what they mean is that it doesn't have to be to have the most ultra-realistic, advanced graphics and stuff like that, but it feels a little... Personally, if I had worked on the game as an artist, my ego would be a little bit bruised. I know they don't mean it, but my ego would be bruised. I think her boob size is actually a little bit bigger than here. We must flatten. There, I think this is better. Yeah, I think this is more canon size. There we go. Now, one cool thing, because I play a lot of like old retro games, is that you constantly get exposed to a lot of design choices that just wouldn't be made nowadays, right? Like, one design choice that they completely scraped from the new Sonic games, right? That the old Sonic games had, was the Emerald Collection, right? In the old Sonic games, you had to collect all Chaos Emeralds from the bonus stages, or you didn't get the true ending. You just didn't. You would beat the entire game, you would see Robotnik explode, but then after you beat the game, you see Robotnik smiling because he still had the Chaos Emeralds, and it would be like, too bad, try again. And then you literally have to go back from the start, because if you didn't get all the emeralds until the final fight, you wouldn't get the actual final boss fight. You would lose a content. Straight up lose content. Off the game. It is... It is a decision that most companies don't try. And I only know know about this because of the very brief time I played World of Warcraft. When I played World of Warcraft, I'd look up their forums, right? And their forums had a lot of people who discussed the game from a game design lens. I guess it's because the developers communicated a lot with the community. So the community was more savvy towards what the game developers wanted to do in the game and stuff like that. And there was basically this taboo of locking out content behind skill caps or stuff like that, which honestly happened on occasion, right? They did it on occasion, but they tried to avoid it like the plague at the same time. So they wanted most of the content in their game to be available to most of their audience, and they did stuff like raid finders that people didn't necessarily like very much, because this allowed for more people to experience the raiding content, or at least a version of the raiding content, without necessarily being a raider or needing to find a guild. Being good enough for a guild to accept them was like the biggest issue that I understand. Because, look, I played WoW for a little bit. WoW players scare me, okay? I am scared of people who play WoW, people who do like raids and stuff like that, because the guilds, when I wanted to join a guild because a friend of mine was part of the guild, they interview with me like it was a job application. I had to do a DPS test. If I did not have enough DPS with my current equipment against the Tingus, they wouldn't bother to actually have me on their guild, which was a culture shock from what I played before, because I played Ragnarok Online before. And Ragnarok Online was basically a game where the whole point of the game was to just be there, grind a bit every day, and the most competitive side of that game was PvP, because it gave you like extra benefits. So, and I never like got into that part. So to me, PvE, that's where people who are more casual, they just wanna fight against the monsters and the environment and stuff like that. That's where they are, right? No. That's where the most competitive people are. The PvP is actually very casual. Compared to the PvP was actually very casual compared to, because like, yes, technically there were like guild thingies, and technically your progress toward PvP gear was like slower if you didn't take part in them, but they weren't obligatory, right? Like in PvE. In PvE, if I do only raid finders, I won't have legendary gear. I won't have a chance to do legendary gear at all. I was only going to get the raid finder equipment, which was meant to be entry level PvE, right? Meanwhile, the PvP gear didn't really change. It was just how many points you were able to get weekly before, in order to gather them. And just meant that the person who took PvP more seriously would get the equipment sooner than you, essentially. So honestly, that scared me. That scared me a lot. Because I was of the mindset that I didn't want to take a game as serious as I would take a job, but for a lot of people the fun is in taking the game extremely serious. So definitely a... But yeah, what was I going with this? Oh yeah, the people there like to discuss the game design stuff a lot, and they were always going on about gating content based on player skill and stuff like that, and that the devs didn't like that because the devs spent money making said content, so they wanted the most amount of people to experience said content. Yada yada yada. So that's why I know that's like a very big discussion in AAA. That is like their very important thing, that they don't like to make games that are too hard, that will cause people to quit before finishing it or not be able to experience the whole thing and stuff like that. It's like an accessibility thing. And I get it. But honestly, at the end of the day, as a game developer, that is absolutely your choice. It is absolutely your choice to look at your game and be like, this is the type of people I want to play my game. I made this game for this type of person. I made this game for this type of gamer. I didn't make this game for this type of gamer. And if this type of gamer complains that the game isn't suited for them, I can just be like, that is fine. The game was technically not meant for you. It's kind of like Dark Souls being like, hey, game is hard. If you don't like hard games, you know gonna like our hard game. Or literally one of the best examples of this, I think, is still Path of Exile. Path of Exile 2, right? Because they made their skill tree so freaking intimidating and so freaking big. And when asked about why skill tree so scary, their answer was, because the type of player that we made this game for were people who would look at the skill tree and go, oh my god, there is so much possibility here! I can't wait to try everything out. That's the type of player they wanted. They wanted people who wouldn't be intimidated by complexity, so that they could program their game as complex as they wanted it to be, and change things up as much as they wanted, because this type of player would just look at the patch changes and be like, wow, now I can test how this works with this instead of doing this thing, right? That's what's their player profile. That's their player profile. That's the type of people who play Path of Exile. People who are like, oh, new season, new build. What are the builds? Are these still viable? Oh, I can try doing this now. Oh my god, they changed this? Now it works like this? Wonder if it works with X. I like it because it's a puzzle. It is a puzzle, exactly. And honestly, as long as you are doing designing the game like that, that's awesome. If you're designing the game being like, I'm gonna make this game with a lot of pay to win, because I want all my players to be extremely filthy rich whales that will go like, oh, I can pay for more power like this? Oh my god, that's awesome! I can't wait to use my credit card. Then, you might actually make a lot of money, but also please stop. Please don't. Please don't. But yeah, at the end of the day, developers have the right to make a game that fits a niche instead of trying to make a game that is for everyone. And it's usually better to make a game that's for a niche, as long as you do that, you fill that niche well, right? Than trying to make a game for everybody and pleasing nobody. Which is always the biggest danger. The biggest danger of these things. Is when you end up pleasing nobody, trying to please everybody. The biggest trap. My main fear as a dev is to make a game that nobody plays. That also can happen. You can make a game that has such a niche, that is so niche, that like only 5 people play. But also, if nobody plays your game as a dev, you're also gonna have to do like one of the hardest things, which is actually re-evaluate based on the criticism what needs to be changed for your game to appeal a demographic, right? And that is tough. That is tough because it means taking criticism in the eyes. And rolling with the punches. Rolling with the punches is the hardest thing to do, usually. It's the hardest thing to do. Especially because not all criticism is presented in a constructive manner. And if you get hit in the face with a lot of non-constructive criticism, when you finally get constructive criticism, you might be so jaded that you confuse the constructive criticism with non-constructive criticism. And people have a really hard time empathizing with people who might have freaked out because they reach that point, you know? When, yes, this person is making a constructive criticism to me, but I heard so many non-constructive criticism, I stopped understanding what constructive criticism looks like. Some people do have difficulty without criticism by default. Some people put a lot of expectation in stuff they made, and it's hard to deal with certain criticism sometimes, right? It's also equally hard finding people who can give you criticism in a way that feels nice. It doesn't feel bad. I had to take some criticism today and recognize my weakness. That can be rough, that can be rough. What happened? If you don't mind me asking, of course. What happened? And were you okay? On the subject, while you type, if you want to type, that is. I remember there was a Game Grumps episode where Erin was alone without Anne, and he started sharing some old drawings of his that were very janky. And he was talking about when he drew his start of artist career, and he didn't know how to draw both eyes on the face of characters, because it's hard. You have to do symmetry, right? Otherwise the eyes look crooked. So what he did as a child was he would draw them with only one eye. Maybe usually with like an emo haircut to cover the eye, kind of like this, right? And all characters were only drawn with one eye. And people would notice this. Applied for team lead, but I knew I wasn't fit for the position. My main goal was to know where I am right now as a person, but also as an employee. So basically I applied to hear the criticism. Oh, that's actually smart! That's actually pretty smart. Did you get a good feedback? I hope you got a good feedback from that. That's clever. It's like applying to a job interview of a job you're not qualified, just to hear what they are actually looking for in the job. And then using it as a career plan. I did get good feedback, and now I know what you need to work on. That is good! That is good! I like that, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, actually. Especially since it's a professional setting. The person isn't really allowed to be a jerk to you, also. So that does add like a little buffer of protection. Interesting. Good job, Cutie Kitty. I even got courses suggestions to take. Oh, that is awesome. Like I said, that's a really good idea. Honestly, taking criticism is such a powerful skill to have, right? Especially in this age where algorithms will try to direct you to some sort to like the nearest wild echo chamber that they think you might fit in, right? It's a really powerful skill to have. It's pretty OP. This other person was more willing to give me tips, while my current team lead, who will be leaving, was a bit more negative. He doesn't think I would even be a good team lead, mainly because I never lead a team. I see. Well, that's how can I say, stationary view on things, right? Oh, if you never done this before, you will never be able to do it. It's kind of like, but if I need to do it once, I also need an opportunity to do it once, you know? So let's say that perspective is a little bit limited. But then again, if he is your team lead, you might be inclined to tell people that they wouldn't be a good team lead and that they should just let him be the team lead. Know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he still like gave you a few directions on what should be done, right? What needed improving. No. It's the whole job thing all over again. You did experience for this job, but you can only get experience in this job. Yeah. And then it's like, we can't find anyone qualified to fill this position. I wonder why. I got that. Back when I did a bit of job hunting, looking for a place to teach, school to teach English, there were a bunch of people who expected me to have lived like 5 years in the United States in order to be able to teach English. To which I'm like, or at least another English-speaking country, and then like, if I could be living in another country, why would I need to come back here to get a minimum wage job teaching English in your particular dinky school? What are you talking about? What are you even going on about? The worst thing I haven't been in too many job interviews, but the worst thing I ever seen in one was literally being asked what's your spirit animal in a job interview. I actually got that once. Have you ever gotten that one? Have you ever gotten asked your spirit animal in a job interview. It being unironic, and you had to like come up with an answer. I had. It was weird. I didn't really took the answer very seriously, and I just made up some random bullshit like, I'm an eagle because I soar in the sky looking for opportunities, or something like that, I think was what I answered at the time. Should have answered, I'm an eagle because I'll swoop in the sky and take your wig off. Anyways. It was very weird. I'm pretty sure that school closed it down. I am 95% sure that school closed it down. Their location was terrible. I would have said I'm an eagle because I fly around and bring democracy to countries with all. Which is a great answer for an English school whose main target audience are people who want to either work in the US or want to go in the US for education. Come to think of it right now, considering how hard it must be to get in the US currently, I'm not entirely sure how well English schools are doing nowadays. I'm not even entirely sure. English schools, learn English so you know where not to click on porn sites. That seems like a good alternative, right? That seems like a good alternative, market. Ugh. Anyways. Thanks to a famous Philip painter, I have to learn English in school. Hooray! God damn it. Damn those failed painters. See, that's an example of a shadow artist I was talking about earlier. There's just a lot of resentment there, guy. I don't know what to tell you. Don't know what to tell you. I actually had a teacher in a good English class that I used to go to that actually wanted to teach me German. He said I had enough ease with linguistics that I could be able to learn German. Unfortunately, the school that school is no longer under his care, and they no longer teach other languages other than English and Spanish. They cut down on the language classes to only the most basic ones for monetary purposes, which I thought was a shame. It's one of those things of like, if I could go back, I probably would have. German is that bad until you reach der, die, das. You see. There we go. Okay. So everyone, that is all the time I have for today. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Stay awesome, and now we find someone to raid. Yeah, well, that's basics and where I failed. Fair. Fair. Let's see, who do we have to raid? Who can we raid today? Who should we raid today? Who is there that we can raid? First things first, is there anyone doing pixel art at all? On my recommended, I'm seeing a lot of new people. Huh. Seeing a lot of new people. There's a Pixie King, but that's not a Pixel King, that's a different thing. So, no pixel art today, eh? Okay. Who is on then? Milia is on. Milia is doing art too. Alright, alright. Let's go to Milia. Milia is fun. What? Why not? There she is. Okay, so once again, everyone, hold up. Let's use this. So everyone, once again, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Stay awesome. And remember, when in doubt, when you think you can do it, just think like a ninja. And sure you can, even though this is a kunai. So bye-bye, everyone. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Bye. I forgot to write up the raid, so I'm gonna stare at you all awkwardly while we wait. Okay, raid time. Bye-bye, everyone.
Valid, but also